gentlemen, season 20 is upon us, and that means that a bunch of the characters are slightly different in how they play out. And today we are going to be going through Bloodhound and creating a nice little guide explaining how to be properly playing this legend in season 20. Let's get right into it. So Bloodhound, I would say, currently is at the top of the recon class. Out of all of these legends, Hound, Crypto, Seer, and Vantage, I would say Bloodhound is definitely in that #1 spot. So with season 20, each character has a perk system, which means that once you level up to your blue armor, as well as once you level up to your purple armor, you unlock your level 2 and your level 3 perks. And so Hound has pretty good ones. Let's get into the level 2. You have tactical cooldown, which reduces your scan by 5 seconds, which makes it go from 25 to 20 seconds. And then as well as Raven's Blessing, which is the White Raven's charge ultimate, 25% when activated. And so this was something that was just constantly on Hound last season, but in the new season, it got changed to being one of the perks. And so now you have to choose between that or 25 or 5% less on the scan. And so, to be honest, I would say that if you were playing Hound in a competitive setting, like you're playing scrims, you're playing comp, and even if you're playing high level ranked and you want to be able to provide more info to your team, I do think that the tactical cooldown is the way to go, because this allows you to get more scans out, which is the biggest way that you can contribute as a team player. The more scans, the better. Where Raven's Blessing is more of a more selfish pick, because it's more centered around you just getting your ult and you being able to move and run fast. And so if you're playing ranked or pubs, especially pubs, I would 100% be going with the Raven's Blessing, where if you're in higher level ranked or comp, you're going to be wanting to go with the tactical cooldown. But if I'm playing pubs and I'm running around on Bloodhound, I'm going to be wanting to have my ult in as many fights as possible, and this is going to make sure that that happens. Let's get to it. Appreciate the follow. Welcome to the ASMR stream. Hope you're having an amazing day. I can't. That's as much as I got in me. Let's get into the level 3. Level 3, we have Odin's Glare, which is a doubling of the duration of the full body scan. And then you have Taste of Blood, which means that you gain 25 HP on knocks while the ultimate is active. And for this one, I would say I go with Odin's Glare every single time. I don't think that there's a ton of value out of Taste of Blood, other than if maybe you're playing pubs, but typically when you're playing and taking fights, a 25 HP on knock isn't going to be the biggest difference maker, especially given the fact that it does only heal your HP. And so if your shield doesn't get broken, you don't really get or receive any benefit out of it. And so the full body scan will go way harder. And so especially if you combine both of these two together, I typically pick both the ones on the left side when I'm playing Hound, because that means I'm being able to scan more for my teams and my scans are doing more than they would otherwise. And so, plus you can always carry ult excels to make sure you get that ultimate back quicker. And so I go with both of these left side most of the times. If I was playing pubs, I would be playing this one. And probably this one, simply because in pubs, the scan isn't as important and it's more about taking advantage of the ult, going fast, getting kills, and staying up. That's the breakdown of it. Let's get into the different abilities. All right, so starting off with Bloodhound's passive, we have Tracker, which means foes leave behind clues for you to find, and white ravens may appear to guide you to battle. And so how this works is that you will see markers on the ground that will indicate when a foe was running past. So let's say there's an enemy here 30 seconds ago. And so then, you know, if you keep on running that direction, you're going to be following and chasing after somebody who was 30 seconds. And so the closer you get to them, so as it says like, okay, you're now 20 seconds, you're 15 seconds, you are gaining and you're getting closer to the person that you were trying to get to. And then the white ravens. So the way that the ravens work is that it is going to have an arrow, a multitude of arrows depending on how far away the enemy team is. And so depending on the direction and depending on the arrows, that will show you the closest team that is by. And so a lot of times this will allow you to know like, okay, I know that we're safe on this rotate. I know that we don't have to worry about a team thirding from this side because the next closest team is over here. And it can really give you a decent amount of information that will allow you to navigate around the map for you and your team. Getting into the tactical, we have Eye of the All-Father. And so this briefly reveals enemies, traps, clues through all structures in front of you. And so this is basically just a scan. And you scan the area, and then within the 75 feet, which is the range of your tactical, it will scan and it will notify you of all enemies. This is an incredibly strong ability and is the main reason why Bloodhound has been meta in the past, where I would say Hound is more so meta due to the ultimate in the current Bangalore meta with the nerf to SMGs, but we'll get into that in a little bit. The tactical is very good, and you're going to be wanting it to use it at the beginning of your fights and then as well as on cooldown once you are able to. And it is really good to be able to make sure that everybody on your team knows the information pulling up to a situation. And so oftentimes pulling up to a third party, all it takes is one scan, and then you and your teammates can figure out how you guys want to approach and position yourselves for this fight, given all the information that you have that you otherwise wouldn't if you were not playing Bloodhound. Getting into the ultimate, we have Beast of the Hunt, and this transforms Hound into the ultimate hunter and launches a white raven and enhances senses to see cold tracks and move faster. And so basically that makes Bloodhound go Super Saiyan mode. You don't have, so something that is not mentioned here is that when you pop Bloodhound ult, you do not have footstep audio. I don't know if that's intended or not, but that's something that's in the game, is while you may have the audio of you just absolutely heavy breathing going crazy, you do not have footstep audio. And so in order to take flanks and off angles, it can be very effective, as the enemies just simply will not hear you. The Bloodhound ult is one of the strongest part about Hound, as due to the SMG nerfs of no longer having digis on SMGs and Bangalore still being meta, having that ultimate and being one of the only players who is able to shoot through smoke very easily brings Bloodhound stocks up immensely, and is one of the primary reasons why Hound is meta in not only comp but also ranked. And hey, I'm sure if you're ripping the 25% off scan, you're running around and playing pubs, running Super Saiyan mode, gotta be a pretty fun time too. And so that is the breakdown for Hound's abilities. When you are using your ultimate, you want to prioritize primarily only fighting while you have the ultimate, as your fighting potential is just exponentially higher when you're able to move faster and quieter, and as well as have that advanced intel. And so I would say that Hound is one of the few characters who I will actively carry ult excels around for, and so that way I can have my ultimate in as many fights as I can. That's the abilities.